We have friends in the chat, always good. Okay, we are officially live. Aloha, everyone. Let us know how you're doing, if you can hear us.
Hello,
Oh, is that you?
that was mine. I got it muted though. I'm ready.
Okay. And everyone say hi to Jenny. Jenny, you can say
Hi,
hello.
folks.
Okay, we got lots of folks in the chat. Everybody, welcome to our 100 Days of Ukulele 2023 kickoff. A lot of folks in the chat who have done the project before. I think it really speaks to the project that people are coming back. and and we probably have some new folks as well in the chat. Today, we're going to work on answering some questions, talking about how the project works, getting ourselves excited, talking about our project ideas, and just kind of everything that we need to do to get ready for the project that starts on Wednesday. Why don't we kick it off with Jenny, who is coming back for, is this the 6th year, Jenny?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Tell us about the experience of, I don't know, maybe like highlights of how you got to 6 years and what does it mean for the 6 year?
Okay. I was discovering 100 Days and you, Cynthia, sort of at the same time. So I think I sort of entered after you'd done your first one, but before you did your second one. And so it was pretty exciting to me as a new ukulele player to be given the opportunity to join a community of people and to be playing songs every day for 100 days. Since we were coming off of your sort of journey through actual full songs and arrangements, that's how I approached it my first year. And I had so many songs I wanted to play and so many things I wanted to do that the first couple of years it was kind of easy to find 100 songs that I wanted to play, and I did different songs every day, and I spent a lot of time on improving my playing as well as actually playing the songs. And then as time went by, that felt less sustainable to me. So probably a couple years in, I started to do shorter chunks and smaller pieces, and to think, what can I do that sort of is still fun and interesting to me, but is also improving my skills, which was a goal I had for myself. And so I sort of started breaking things up in different ways. And as I was working through probably my third year, I found myself wanting to write more songs. And so then I thought, how can I kind of skew this so I can have a focus on songwriting as well? So it really has been, after the first 2 years or so, a different experience for me each time. And I think ahead of time, what do I want, necessarily to focus on one thing, but what do I want to sort of, what's the shape of this project going to look like for me this year? And it's continued to evolve and been really fun. And I think the only reason I'm still doing it 5 or 6 years later is because I've changed it up and I've kept it interesting and manageable as things in my life have shifted and changed. And I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, that's like when you encapsulate it that way, it's like it really is such a journey, right? It starts with you just learning ukulele, really, and then finding your voice as a writer, using the ukulele, and also the whole sustainability aspect. I think that's a really important thing to touch on, because music is not like a one and done kind of thing. It is definitely, any creative pursuit is for the long term, and you want to embrace how you can make it part of your daily life so that you can keep it going. And it's meant to feed you. It's meant to inspire you. There is no set goal with this. We like to say it's your project, right? So however you want to achieve it, it's your project. Yeah. So let's look at the chat a little bit. Folks who are coming back, let us know what year it is for you if you are coming back, if this is your second year, third year, whatnot. And for folks who are new, let us know if you're getting ready to jump in for the first time, or if you are just still lurking, we like to say. Totally welcome to lurk, to just join the communities and watch everybody, just kind of get an idea of how does this all work. Do I want to do this? It's important for us to actually have supporters on the sidelines who are just ready to give us encouragement and keep us motivated, and inspired. We have some folks second year. Oh, it's so fun to see these names. Yeah, the beauty of the 100 Days Project is that, when you see people day after day, for even if it's not 100 days, but just day after day posting, you really get to know them. And I love that. I see Jadrian here, year number 2, Vicky, year 3, Kit, year 3, Donya, Basa, second year, Natalie, Will, Christina, Ken, Jennifer. Oh, wow. Joan, Tammy. Amanda is year 4. Amazing. She said, I was only going to do a couple songs in year 1. I think that happened to Leanne as well. Leanne was like, I'm just going to do a couple songs. And then she just did the whole project. Jeannie says, I'm new, might try it a little. Awesome. Yeah, Tina, year 4. Oh, Dory, year 4. Oh, wow. I can't believe it's year 4 for Dory. That's amazing. Really? Oh my gosh. Okay.
I
Time
love
goes
what
fast.
I love what Nancy has to say too. We made it to about 20 your first year, about 50 last year, so maybe more this year. That's the other beauty of 100 days is while we're trying to build a creative practice, it is about what you can do. And
Mhm.
some people will do 10, and some people will do 50, and some people will do all 100. And there's not a failure that can happen in this if you pick it up and try it. It's whatever you end up doing is your project.
Yeah, I didn't complete the 100 days until just like maybe last year or the year before. Before then, I'd always petered out somewhere along the way. And sometimes that's how life goes, right? That you are super into a passion or a project, and you might get derailed by life stuff, or you might change direction in where that pursuit is taking you, and that is okay. It is also just part of the process. Yeah. Okay. um yeah, Amanda's calling me out for being a slacker. I'm okay with that. I mean, I think something that goes along with this conversation of sustainability and this project is the concept of perfectionism. We do always bring that up because a lot of this project is simply just getting over that fear of sharing something that may not be perfect. Um, I think, I get credited a lot for not being afraid to share my mistakes. People really like that about me. So um, I've, distilled it down to like sharing my process, right? That we all have a process of how we learn, and everything really is a work in progress. So if you can embrace the fact that it is a long arc and that we are all somewhere in this work in progress, it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, just kind of like getting over that hump of needing it to be perfect. And yeah, along those lines, we can talk about One Take Wednesday. Folks in the chat can talk about that. We could talk about how in the beginning you might try to do a million takes, and then as you get further along in the project, you understand, okay, well, maybe if I just do 3 takes and I pick the best one, that might be the best way to go. But there's some days that you're just like, I got to get it. I got to keep going. So you learn that along the way. Maybe we should back up a little bit and talk about how to join the project. Yeah. Jenny, you want to talk about that?
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, and I actually see a question in the chat about that, so I'll just answer that as part
Yeah.
of my answer. Ruth's asking, is this just for Patreon members? The beauty
Mhm.
of the 100 Days of Ukulele is that it is totally open and accessible on any platform that you want to be on. So for people who are only on Patreon, we're going to introduce this year the chance to be posting through the Patreon platform on the community tab. However, we've always had people posting on Instagram, people posting on Facebook, and some people also use YouTube as well. And really any social media platform you could be on, you could do it on TikTok, you could do it anywhere you like. In the case of community building, I think most people join the Facebook group if they want to be able to kind of commune with people and sort of build a relationship over time. But I'm certainly interested in seeing how that happens on other platforms as well.
Yeah.
In the Facebook group, which we're going to open up at the end of this live stream, you'll be able to just sort of post, and it's only visible in that group. But in places like Instagram and places like YouTube and places like TikTok, you're going to have a wide variety of people who might see your work. So we'll use a hashtag. So on those platforms, we'll use the hashtag 100 Days Ook 2023, which you'll see printed all over the place, so that people can find each other's songs and comment on them that way, leave them likes and hearts and all those sorts of things. So it really is a case where whatever you want to plug into, you could do them all, you could do one of them, whatever's meaningful for you. And we don't mean to make it overwhelming for anyone. So if it really is easiest for someone just to focus in on Facebook or just to focus in on Instagram, that's great. And I've even known there are people who have done the project and not posted anything, but have just sort of done it privately for themselves. And that's absolutely, you make of it what you want to make of it. And we're happy to have people along for the ride on any of the platforms that you're on.
Yeah, and it's important to note that that the Facebook group is a private group, and I mean, on all of the groups we say positive comments only, but on say Instagram or YouTube, we can't really control what the outside community is posting. But the Facebook group, because it is a private group, we have a team of volunteer moderators. Jenny heads up that group. Thank you, Jenny, for
Thank you, moderators too.
yeah,
Yes.
and our mod team. That's a lot of work, and people they put in their time towards cultivating this very positive, encouraging community, because we know it makes a difference, right? We know that if you are a newbie and very nervous about this whole project, having cheerleaders on the side makes all the difference in terms of just feeling like you can keep going, right? Yeah, it's that I've seen firsthand, right? That if people get just like a little sense of criticism, then they pull back, right? But if you feel that anything you do will be accepted, then you'll put yourself out there, and just I've seen people blossom in such an amazing way. So we have a positive comments only policy.
And we're not there to critique your video making skills either. For a lot of people, this is a process through which it might be fun to learn how to make ukulele videos, or it might be something that you just do as part of 100 days. But we're not there to critique whether you're framing something the way that we want you to, or whether we can see your hands and your face in the same shot. I mean, it really is sometimes for a lot of people a learning process just with the tech as well. And you can be shooting very lo-fi photos or videos with your phone camera, or you can be doing something that involves editing or apps or filters, and it's all allowed. It's all acceptable.
Yeah. There is a very helpful FAQ doc. Maybe we should pull that up right now. Actually, I'll pull up a couple of things. Along with the FAQ doc, you will find every answer to everything about our 100 Days of Ukulele project. Well, we've worked really hard on this FAQ doc, mostly Jenny, because we answer the same questions over and over. And one can only do that so much. We're all really busy making ukulele videos, so we don't need to answer questions. So if at any point you're like, I have a question, check the FAQ doc. Please check the FAQ doc. Also, this year, as a way to track your own progress, I've been working with Pat, our 5 at 5 behind the scenes producer, Micro Pat. He is working on an app for us. I'm going to share it right now. And if you go to 100daysuke.com, wait, where is this here? Okay, you're going to see this tracker, right? And this is just the beginning stages of this app. It's a web app. It's just like a website that you can then save to your desktop. It will save your progress, right? If you go to this site, and then when you click on the day, it'll track your days. You can mark the day completed. You can add a note here, maybe a link. Pat, we were talking about like adding a space for your URL, right? For your link or whatever notes, notes about what you did that day, how you're feeling that day. It's a little way to like keep a journal of your 100 days, and then you can save that. And then up here in this corner, hopefully you can see this. Can you see this? It's behind my face here. I will, I didn't mean to do that. There's a link here. Yeah, it's behind my face here. Let me, if I shrink this a little bit, maybe you can see it better. There's a link here to the FAQ. Okay. And so you can, yeah. Then here you go. Scroll through the FAQ here and find out it's your project, right? Share your daily progress, positive comments only. You could see here all of the different links, yeah, for the FAQ sections. Yeah. Okay. So that if you go to your progress tracker, it will give you all of that info. And then there's also links here to our Instagram project, Facebook project, the squads, tips from past participants. Thank you, Pat, so much for your work on this. We're excited about it. Okay. Yeah, it's still in early stages. So if you're using it, then give us your feedback. Pat has said he's welcome to the feedback. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, folks are excited about this. Yeah. Okay, good. FAQ, fabulous and quick. Yes, FAQ, we also say frequently answered questions. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Ken said he's already saved the site. Oh, there. Pat has the link in the chat as well. Yay. Okay.
Bookmark it.
Good. All right. Folks, do we have any questions? We can talk about some of the frequently asked questions, but also, topics that come up again and again, which is, the concepts of like comparing yourself to other people, right? That we're each on our own journey, and we have to embrace that this is our own project, right? Also, we could talk about the tech elements as well, like how you would take a video, maybe what day one looks like and what your project goal looks like. Yeah. How am I going to keep up on the rest of my life over 100 days? That's talking about the idea of sustainability. How should we hit upon all those things? Why don't we start with what does day one look like? And for folks who have done the project before, what do you have in mind for this year? Is it any different than what you did last year? Do you have a specific goal in mind? You don't have to, but it can be helpful to share some of your goals in the chat, and we can talk about those. And then we can talk a little bit about how you might make a video for the first day. Yeah. Yeah. Jenny, do you have a project in mind for this year? You and I can each talk about our projects, what day one looks like for this year, and then we can open it up as well.
I'm building off of last year, in which I checked in with myself every 10 days and sort of tried to write song lyrics in between. And then every 10 days, I hoped to have another song. So my goal was 10 songs over the course of the 100 days. I actually ended up with 34 songs. So I thought, what can I do this year that'll be a little bit different? And I thought, well, this year, why don't I concentrate a little bit more in on the daily practice? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to write 8 lines every day. It's not going to be a full song. I'll try to write in my notebook every day. I'll try to play my ukulele for at least 5 minutes. And I really think I'm going to have to set myself a time limit. I'm going to something that Fried mentioned in the chat. Like, I'm going to have to tell myself, okay, and it may be different on different days, but I may say, you have only 30 minutes today. Use your time wisely and really stick to that in order to not let myself get so carried away on day 1 through 14 that I then crash and burn, before I even got to my goal of making it all the way to the last day. So, so I'll be doing whatever it takes to keep myself interested and engaged in that time. And certainly you can shift and change your goals. You don't need to stick to what you think you're going to do at the very beginning. But day one for me will be sitting down to write and strum some chords and probably take a really short video. I probably will take a video that's less than a minute long. And I'm going to do that on any of the days that represents what I've done that day. And if I have something longer to share, I will. But it's not going to be a goal of mine to put out lengthy videos that have taken lots of takes at any point in this project.
Yeah. I have been wavering, and yeah, I'm rather non-committal. There was a year that I did a lot of songs in other languages. I was working on bossa nova songs in Portuguese. And because I am doing some touring this year, especially to other countries, I thought I would start prepping songs in those other languages. And that's good for 100 days for me because it just takes repeated work and repeated repetition for learning those other languages, learning those other language songs. I am also wavering between kind of like going back to what I did the first year and just forcing myself to like do a whole song and do a whole video. And that mostly just because I haven't done that in a long time. So we'll see. I'm very open to seeing what I feel like that day. There was one year that I did it mostly, well, for the past couple of years, I've done it mostly on Instagram. And I think I want to open it up this year, right? If I'm going to make, say, like vertical videos, then I might put them on TikTok also, or put them on YouTube Shorts. So it's, for me, a way to kind of explore the idea of video creation and different platforms, because that landscape is always changing, right? Christina in the chat is talking about her lunch break one takes. And I think most of us will say that, who saw those just like adored them because, she's in her scrubs, that she's just taking like 5 minutes to play a song that she really loves, but, might not even know. I mean, like might not have played before. And I love it. It's like, it really kind of captures the project. It's what you can do and making it as sustainable as possible. So, Christina, how did you film those? I'm just curious, right? Just to make that really easy for yourself for your lunch break. Did you kind of just like set up your phone, have an easy upload? We can read off some of the other projects we see in the chat. Yeah. Let's see.
Mini tripod on her phone, Christina says. Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the first years I did the project, I used one of those bendy sort of like Gorilla Pod tripods that could attach to anything. That was a really good tool. Also, in a pinch, sometimes I've used just like an iPhone stand or a phone stand. It's not even an iPhone stand, but just to prop it up wherever I am, even if the angle isn't particularly flattering. Right. That has gotten me through some rough days when I only had a few minutes to record something.
Exactly. Yeah. There's definitely been days where I also, just like put the camera up wherever I can and just use the onboard mic. You can keep it as simple as that. Our phones are pretty powerful tools these days. So you don't have to get fancy, but then also some people want to get fancy, right? Some people enjoy exploring tech, trying to, use mics or interfaces or video programs and do editing. And iMovie is super easy if you have a Mac. You can just cut the video down to what you like. You can add some titles and stuff, and that's totally for you to play with, but it's not necessary at all. Okay. One Take Wednesday, people loved. Yeah. So I think, that was an idea that got popular in the Facebook group last year, is that everybody really embraced only doing one take on Wednesday and just sharing mistakes and all. And once you kind of share that, you realize, it's okay. It's not as embarrassing as I thought it would be.
And everybody loves a blooper. If you end up making mistakes and
It's
it's
true.
obvious on your video, people love it. So you're really doing a crowd pleasing video if you've made some mistakes.
It's so true.
I wanted to say too about the tech questions. Usually people who've made videos enjoy talking about the tech that they've used. So if you see someone whose video looks really good and you're wondering, what did you film this on? Or it sounds really good and
Hmm.
you're wondering if they have a microphone, it's great to leave them a comment and say, hey, this sounds awesome, or this looks great, and what tech do you use? And a lot of people are really happy to share their setup. And I've even seen people who've taken one of their days, I think I did that one year too, to shoot a little video or to take a picture of their setup to say, here's how I'm filming normally. That can be fun for people to see behind the scenes as well.
Mm.
Or you can chat about it. If you're in the Facebook group, you can chat about it in our chat thread. You know, share with each other what you're doing. It leads to some interesting conversations.
Okay. I just want to learn how to lead into a song, including the note to sing. So I start in pitch. Well, that's something you can work on a daily basis. That's what Julie said. That is a hard thing to do. So that is something that you can practice. Actually, I mean, when I work with my voice students, I make them just work on the first note, on the first word over and over, because that's the hardest part. We also have mistakes Monday and terrible Tuesdays. That's funny. Every day wasn't one take. You can totally do that. Yeah. Yeah. Folks like the tech stuff. Okay. I'm not a singer, but I love it. Totally. Yeah. There are a lot of folks who do instrumental only as well, if they want to learn chord melody. And also, um, yeah, it can evolve over time. You know, you don't have to do the same thing every day. You can do, or you can actually do the same thing every day, right? If you want to work on one song for several days, or take one song and revisit it every, let's say 5, 10 days. I actually think that that's like a good practice habit to get into. Nothing really, happens magically in one day. The one takes are fun for getting through the song, but if your focus is, let's say, really improving your technique, then it's perfectly fine to revisit. um, my very first project, my goal was to get more comfortable with sharing videos, so like you guys know me now, but back then I was new to YouTube and like still a little nervous, right, about, oh, do I know what I'm doing here on YouTube? And so hundreds of videos later, here I am. um, I do have a video over on my YouTube that's about how the 100 Days of Ukulele Project changed my life. And it really did, because my first project resulted in, you can't really see the album, but the Ukulele Days album, and allowed me to tour the world and to reach thousands of people, maybe more, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, I don't know, with my music. So um, it's it it's not at all about the outcome. It really is about the process. Yeah. Any other questions here? I know a lot of these folks are, a lot of you guys are repeats. So how about we hear from folks, what platform do you think you will use? Take a little poll. So, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube using the hashtag, on the Patreon tab, and that's just for patrons, but it's an option for non-social media. I totally understand if you're not into social media, you don't have to use it at all. Um, some folks are uh, are aspiring professional players or enjoy putting themselves out there, but you don't have to be, right? So, um, yeah, let's hear from
As
from everybody on that.
As
Uh-huh.
the answers roll in, I'll just say too that for some people, even if you're not sharing it publicly and you're either only sharing on Patreon or only, in the private Facebook group, you might want to keep an archive of your videos. And there is an option on YouTube a lot of people have used, even if they're not posting publicly on YouTube, to post private videos or unlisted videos on YouTube. So you can consider that if you, for example, don't have the storage to save everything on your phone or your tablet, but you want to keep all your videos in a place where you can easily access them. YouTube is an option that you can use without being public as well. I'm seeing lots of Facebooks,
Mm-hmm.
Instagrams, a couple of Patreon community. I'm excited to see the patrons posting over there.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Karen says the project changed my life last year. Let's hear that. Why don't people share stories, right? The let's hear some stories about what the 100 Days Project did for you if you have done it before. And maybe why are you returning? Have we asked that?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Why are you coming back? And uh what do you have in mind for this year? Um, I think maybe, we do have posts to other people's tips. Um, but, if you want to share some reflections on what it felt like for you the first year and what's different now, that'd be great too. Ken is building instruments and hopefully a bass too. Wow, that's great. Yay, Janine, I see you. Janine's over on Instagram. Yeah. Okay, Karen says she'll be over on the Patreon community. Stephanie, awesome. Yeah. On Instagram and YouTube. Great. Jadrian, handful of riffs, but also continue to do a song a day. Yes, I love the old musical theater songs. Ken is going to hit them all up. Ken said Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, and Instagram. Great. Okay.
I see a question from Mary. If you post on Patreon, do you also need to post on other platforms separately? I have two ways that I think you might mean that question. You don't need to post anywhere but on Patreon if you're a patron posting on Patreon. But if you want to also be in other communities, you will need to post separately for each place. There's no way to just post one place and have it show up everywhere.
Hmm.
With the exception of Instagram has an option to post on Instagram and then put that on your public Facebook, which not everyone wants to do. So you would need to post each place if you're going to do multiple. Okay.
Mhm. How do you post on YouTube? Yeah, well, I think YouTube has made it so that everyone can start a YouTube channel. I think, do you even need a Gmail? I think if you have a Gmail address, then you have a YouTube channel. I think that's how it works. But if you go to YouTube and you sign in, then you can start uploading videos, and then you can set those videos to be either private, which means only you can see it, unlisted, which means you can share that link with people and only the people with the link can see it. And a lot of our folks do that. They do an unlisted video, meaning that they can share it to, say, the Facebook group or to the Patreon tab. And if you copy paste that link and use that link, then only those people can see it. Or you can make it public. And the truth is, if you don't have any followers, then no one's really looking for your video. So you don't need to be worried about, necessarily random people finding your video. But if you're concerned about that, then keep it unlisted. Yeah. Okay. Charla Ray says, trying for the third time to actually complete 100 days. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Vicky says, I'm coming back to reconnect with all the friends from around the world. That is so sweet. Yeah, that is so true. That over the years, people have really made strong connections with each other. Oh, and we can talk about collaborations, right? That like along the way around through the 100 days, at some point, people feel like, okay, well, I've done enough of videos on my own. Let's see what it's like to reach out to some other folks who are doing the project. And they do collaborations either via acapella, which is an app that allows you to like send a video back and forth and add to it, or you can edit it, in maybe a little bit more tech heavy way where you collect videos and then assemble them in software. Yeah, Leanne is particularly good at that. If you guys remember the Kratzky sisters doing, Leanne started with just videos of, her playing to her phone, and it wound up turning into a huge, green screen project. Of course, this was during the pandemic when she had the time. Yeah. It's easier. Oh, this is a great comment. It's easier to commit when there's a community to play for. Oh, I like that. That yeah, it's kind of like I do like to use this quote a lot, is that if you want to go far, go together, right? That we're all leaning on each other. And so when you know that your community is going to show up, then you show up for your community as well, right? I feel that way. In many ways, that's why I do the project. Because like, hey, everybody else is doing the project, I got to do it too. If it were just me on my own, in a way, I am working on music every single day because that is what I do, that is what I love. But the 100 Days project is like a different kind of arc, that we have like this time frame where we focus, and it does make me commit to it in a different way. Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, people love the community, made lots of friends, got to meet a few in person in recent months. I love that. Yeah. When people connect with each other in real life, Dina says, actually doing a full 100 days changed my entire sense of self. Yes, I believe that's really important, that you learn that you have control over your life, that the direction that you take is really set by you. The way I think of it is, sometimes people say, I don't have enough time to do this project. And I totally understand that. Life is crazy. But another way of thinking of it is, if the ask is that you commit 5 minutes a day to your own passion, right? 5 minutes a day to doing something that you like. And in this case is playing ukulele, but it doesn't have to be 5 minutes a day, whatever, maybe you like cooking, or you like some other kind of art or craft, or dance, or physical endeavor, you want to try something. Can you commit that little time to yourself? And a lot of us, I think, allow ourselves to become burdened by, what other people want from us in life. And I think it's just a reminder, okay, if you're going to direct where you're going in life, you need to set this time aside for yourself, right? To explore that. It's simply an exploration. Okay. If for 5 minutes today, I'm going to do something for myself, what is that thing? So I think that's important in shaping your journey and your direction. Yeah. I can talk about that forever. So feel free to jump in, Jay.
I was just thinking about how it really has been a way of holding myself accountable for, am I really using my time the way I want to? And I wouldn't say it's made me successful 24 hours of the day, but I have gotten to the point where I can realize, oh, if you have time to doom scroll, you have time to do a 100 days video. Oh, if you have time to watch, a Real Housewives episode, you have time to do a 5 minutes, 100-day video. Like, and there have been days I've done a photo because I felt like I ran out of time, but it really is just about where your passion and priority lies. And it's easy for me, and I think for a lot of other people too, to get sucked into doing all kinds of sort of useless things throughout our day that may be very entertaining. And I'm not saying we shouldn't do them, but you can reshuffle that if you want to, because I can.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Jadrian said, this gave me courage to challenge myself to try new styles and songs. Yeah. Tammy said, trying to feel more comfortable. Great project for feeling less lonely. Yeah, that really brings you together with people. Karen said, I just tried to put a video in the community tab. I think you have to just put it as a link. The links currently do not work on a web browser. They work in the app. There is an actual Patreon app, and if you use that app, the links do work in the app. But I've tried to ask for a feature request to make them work. But I think it might be like a spam safety thing that if you allow links to work, then people might spam. So I don't know. But don't worry, if you just put the link in there, then people can copy paste the link. And remember, it's for you anyway, right? Khalees is saying would love to collab and if anyone wants. Love it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, Kendra. Hi, Kendra. Good. Seeing folks from all along the journey. Yeah, we've done this a lot. That's a long time. Amanda's saying we get to meet you later this year. That's right. So I will be in the UK for the Grand Northern Ukulele Festival in June, and it will be just right after the end of our day 100. So we'll do a little 100-day celebration there. And I didn't tell you this yet, Jenny, but we're planning for a New York show, so we can do a little 100-day celebration there as well.
Great.
Keyword passion. Yes, that is definitely a keyword. Okay. Yeah. Any final thoughts here, friends? Anything?
Got a final question about when the Facebook group goes live.
Momentarily.
Yes, which I will put the link in the chat in just a second. And after this live stream ends, people can go over and request to join if you're going to join us on Facebook.
Yeah, we've had a different Facebook group every year just because it's different people who join, and it is a lot of content, right? It's a lot of posts. So we want it to be a clean start for everyone. Something that happens in the Facebook group is if we start the group too early, then people are like, when are we starting? Can we post now? Yeah, they get a little overly excited. So everybody, no posting yet. You can join the group and you can only start posting on February 22nd. We'll open it up so that people can start posting. And remember, if you have questions, go to the FAQ. Oh, let's talk about the community chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the exception to not posting before day 1, the 22nd, is that we have created a chat post for everyone in the group to use. Last year we had, and actually the last 2 years, if you were a member of the group, we had chat posts each week, but we're going to try something new this year. We're going to have one chat post and we're going to see how long we can make it work for us. And it is pinned as one of the only 2 pinned featured posts. You can comment in that. You can introduce yourselves. You can drop your social media links. You can talk about tech. You can do sort of all the things we don't want to lose. And since we have so many videos and so many different posts that are going to start rolling through the feed on day 1 and beyond, we just wanted to keep everything else sort of in one place. So feel free to start when you join the group later today or tomorrow or whenever you do, to start by posting in that chat thread an introduction, say hi to people, follow them on other platforms if you want to, but we won't start the actual daily progress posts until the 1st, which is the 22nd, the first day.
Yeah, day 1. Yeah. Aw, Charlotte said, thank you for being instrumental in beginning my ukulele journey. Pun intended. Yes. Yeah. And, I like to think of it as a journey beyond ukulele. Ukulele is simply, one conduit for this creative outlet. You can use it in many different ways. So you can get better at just the instrument itself, but Jenny is using it for songwriting. Certainly you can use it for learning other songs. For me, the language learning was a big part of it. A lot of people have used it to simply just connect with other people. I have also loved seeing that, people shared videos where they included some family members or other friends. They realized that they could jam with other folks, that they had the ability to share music beyond just, say, their ukulele world. The 100 Days Project has also had a little bit of fame. Like one participant, Val, she talked about it, on the BBC or BBC uh, yeah, somebody else can talk more about that, but also was mentioned in a New York Times post. One of our participants was at the New York Times, and I think Ken had mentioned he got interviewed about it recently as well. Um, uh, I believe it's a powerful thing. The fact that everybody comes back year after year, that it really speaks to how the impact that it's had. So it's great to see that folks are coming back, and we welcome new people into the fold. If you just want to watch, please do follow the hashtags and support each other. Give folks encouraging comments. That's always an important part of being in this community. Yeah, getting to know the other folks in your community, and for me, watching everybody's progress is a powerful thing. When you see people trying new things, that's exciting. You see people stepping a little bit outside of their comfort zone. We really cheer for you, because we know that's scary, and that's what makes the big life changes, when you decide that you're going to do something that's a little bit scary. I think as an artist creator, like, I only like doing scary things now. So if I do something that I've done before, it's kind of boring, and so I live on the edge that way. So yeah, let's see. Any last things? Okay, whatever time zone you are in, yes. Another participant, Sonia, got interviewed in her local press. Yeah, we have folks from all around the world as well. We have our Colombian friends. What is their school? Uka Dakaru or something like that.
Yeah.
And they are posting mostly Spanish songs, and that's perfectly fine as well. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we were permanently on the edge, Cynthia. Yeah.
Yeah, spread the
Um,
word too. Terry's made a good point. If you want to invite people to join, you can invite them to join on any platform, but if you're inviting them to the Facebook group, send them the URL, and it's easier for them to join that way than for you to invite them through the Facebook invite feature. Because we have membership questions for people to answer, and they often get missed if they don't go straight through from the URL. So that's a great tip, Terry. Thanks.
okay. All right. I think we can wrap it up there. Everybody get excited for day one. If you want, you can like start testing it out, right? What is it like to film yourself? Um, get find a place in your room, or where you're going to record, where you can get good lighting, get good sound. Yeah, the little simple things, like you can use the bathroom for some reverb.
I
Or a
started a whole
hallway.
series I called Late Night Bathroom Music, and that was part of the reason. It sounded better in there.
Yeah. And yeah, some people like keeping a spreadsheet of all the songs they're gonna do, start collecting different chord charts and trying them out. And yeah, just very excited to see what everybody comes up with. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. I remember Mo's bathroom videos during lockdown. Those were great. Freed said, I'm excited, stupidly excited to be in the picture this year. Yeah. We have a great group pick that we've used for the Facebook group. Okay. All right. Well, let's launch the Facebook group, and we'll see everybody over there. And we look forward to seeing everybody's day ones. If you have any more questions, check out the FAQ. Feel free to comment on this YouTube video, and also you can comment over on Patreon as well. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Uggs.
and happy 100 days. Woo!